The title of this story is Mother to Son by Conrad Kent Rivers. The older officer led many pupils into a small room across from the sergeant's desk. Many appeared helplessly lost. The younger officer did not like the look on her face. Minnie's withdrawal reminded him of Dad. He remembered Korea a few years back. He recalled Vince Lombardi's face after a sniper's bullet had got him. The woman seated in front of him had that same shallow and pitiful look. The room escaped her vision. It was apparent to both officers that Minnie was in a state of shock. "It's getting late, and I have a hunch we can wrap this nasty business up if you'll cooperate," said the older officer. "I don't think she can, Frank." "Yes, she can. If it isn't her boy, then who the hell is it, huh?" "That isn't our concern." "Guess not, Frank. Let those superboys upstairs handle that." "Yeah, you're right again, Frank." Outside, the 6:40 shift could be heard lining up for roll call. Sergeant Quinn's bass voice exploded as he bawled out the graveyard crew. "No leave," he screamed. "No favors, no nothing. I don't want you near a coffee house for months." "Quinn's got bookie trouble," said the younger officer with a broad, baggy-eyed grin. "Out to lay off those doubles and canillas. Baseball pools, too." They laughed. "That ain't Jessie," said Minnie, rising to her feet. "Lord, I done thought it over, and that ain't my Jessie." The officers watched her with amazement. Minnie's heavy body was graceless. Her hands were large, long, and uncared for. The two men moved around her. They approached her thoughtfully and cautiously. Her eyes shifted from one man to the other. It was as though a huge bison had emerged in their presence. "You're quite sure that ain't your boy?" asked Frank. "I don't know my own son." Her eyes sent out death rays. "That ain't Jessie." "Well, what's going to happen if we find out that was your boy and you just made a mistake?" "We're just doing our duty, lady." "I don't fault you," she said. "Sign this paper and give it to the desk sergeant as you leave." "Don't y'all say please?" Frank rubbed his forehead. "If you would be so kind," he replied. "Can I make a mark?" "Sure." She pointed her finger directly in his face. "Y'all ain't gonna bother me no more after this," she demanded. "Just give that to the desk sergeant when you go, please." Her eyes squinted. "What's going to happen to him?" Frank jumped to his feet and opened the door. "If nobody claims him, the taxpayers will bury him." "Well, thank you for your cooperation. Goodbye now." "Did you ever live in Kenwood?" she asked. "No." "You've been one of those first Negroes on the police force. 21 years this month. You's a credit to your race." "Thank you. Now please, give that to the desk sergeant as you go." She sensed his impatience. She thought for a second. "A mother don't know her own flesh. Is y'all crazy?" "He had your picture in his back pocket. You know we covered all of Hyde Park trying to identify you." They studied her tight face. "When Rev Foster had me running for that deer contest the Defender run every year, I must have gave 100 of them pictures away." "That picture don't prove nothing. Think, man. Why would I deny my own flesh and blood? I'm Minnie Leola Peoples, and anybody who knows me or ever even heard about me will tell you I'm a woman. I'm a good woman. And I got a good boy. He's wild, I know. Sure, he done run off again to blow that darn horn of his with one of them rock and rollin' bands. It'll be the third time in 2 years. But come next week, I'll show y'all a postal check money order made out to me. Check, Frank." Frank rubbed the back of his neck as he sat down at the desk. "Bill, call the morgue and tell him to haul 601 back in an unidentified cooler. Minnie sighed as he left the room.